Hey everybody, it's Audrey from Audrey Lynn Studios on the west side of Canada near Vancouver. So today is a glaze along and many people have been asking me for it because thank you so much. You've been purchasing the oyster mat cutter sets that I've been selling. But I get a lot of questions, how do you glaze it? Which I've kind of covered in kiln openings, but yeah, not really, right? You need to see somebody actually glaze it. So there's a lot of glare in my glasses here. So what we're going to do today is glaze this, and then hopefully that helps you get the result I did. I am open to seeing everybody else's results for sure. You might find a combination that works much better or just looks different. Not that it's better, it just looks different. So let's go. Okay, first things first, I give this just a good wipe to get all the dust off. And then often what I'll do is paint the underside with speckled Engobe, just because I'm not crazy about this whole white area under here, and I do not glaze under here, like on the rim underneath. I use speckled Engobe all the way to the edge first. Okay, so I have these glaze sheets on my website, audreylynberm.com, if you're interested in using them. This is a full page one. I have ones that are like quarter page as well. So this is just going to help me. I'm going to say under is going to be 3 times speckled Engobe. And this is just going to help me stay organized because I have a few things going on in here, like most of us usually do. Give it a good shake. So this is Mayco speckled Engobe. And I will link everything that I use in the description. So I generally use 3 coats to get a good coverage. So these oyster cutters have been very popular, and I'm very thankful. Thank you. What I'm thankful for is that you really like them. You know, it's so fun to come up with a design that everybody likes. But I just had so many questions about glazing them, and rightly so. So that's coat 1, and I'm just going to put a little mark here that I've done that, and then go over to that 6-pound bowl that I'm throwing, or those cups that I'm putting handles on, and I'll be back. Okay, coat number 2 soaks in pretty quick, so you don't have to wait around too long. So I have some other cutters that I'm working on. I have an artichoke that I'm working on. I love the look of artichokes. They're quite artistic looking. But the first one I made, I had the crotches of the design in too much of a V shape, and so it turned out that that's where pottery cracks, right? So I wanted to make a new set where the V's were all kind of rounded out. So I think I've got it. So they're coming out of the kiln in a couple days. And last coat. So this piece, after I hand built it with Plainsman 370 white stoneware. I bisked it to 04, just so you know that. I've made this with the buff clay as well, which is Plainsman 340, and both times it turns out just fine. Okay, number 1 is going to be 2 times soft white. Soft white is by Spectrum. 1520. I use this a lot. There we go. And yeah, we're just going to put that on twice. The crevices here. So if you're watching this and you probably like oysters, I love them. I love all seafood. I am a seafood fan. And I'm just going around this pearl. I did hit it, but it's no big deal. Yeah, love all seafood. I know some people who have bought the cutter from me were planning on putting it, like making a full plate dish with them, like the smaller ones, so you can put the oysters in the actual small pottery dishes. There we go. Good. So like they're going to make like a big platter, and then they bought the 6-inch oyster cutter, and then they'll make multiple and put it like in a round on that platter. So I'm really curious to see that. I'm just going to grab this off the pearl that I, just because I don't really want what I put on there to run. All right, so that's the first coat, and so I will mark that here and come back when that's dry. Okay, coat number 2 of Spectrum. Soft white. What I love about soft white is that it just, exposes the clay a little bit underneath, and then goes into all the texture of the piece. That's what I love about it. So I use it a lot, and especially on buff. There we go. Okay, that is number 2. So we will mark that on here so we don't forget, and come back for the next step. Okay, next is Amaco's Fog, C22. And I love this. Wow, what glaze don't I like? I love this glaze. It's just subtle. Anyway, what I do is I just put it in this. I'll show you. I put a few coats in here. It's very subtle, but in the parts that are exposed, um, you can just see it. It makes a bit of a difference, right? And then I just kind of go here and there, and nothing too precise, and just along here and there. Yeah, maybe here. Yeah. And we'll come back because we're going to be doing another coat for sure. Okay, our second coat of fog. I do apply 3 coats of fog because it's a very light glaze. Like it's a Celadon type glaze, but it's also very light. Good, there we go. We'll mark that off. Oh, look at that. Didn't actually put it on. So let's just do this. And I've got it like this, this. And this is number 2 and is 3 times fog. 1, 2. All right, let that dry. We'll put on the third coat. I did manage to, here's the oyster shell. This one's done on 340. And the other oyster shells I already sent to Crowsbury Farms where I sell my work. And but I did manage to hang on to this one. So this is, at least we have some sort of a reference. So it's really cool how it turned out. Yeah, I'm happy with it. Okay, third coat. There we go. And we'll mark that down. And I'll go start another 3D print while that's drying, and we'll be back with the next step. Okay, now, so what I'm doing is, boy, this is a really rough drawing, but the pearl is here, right? I'm putting blue rutile kind of like this in this area, maybe a little bit more like that. And then on top of all of these areas as well. So yeah, not so much on this clay, but on the 370. And it's nice to have just a little bit of fog showing there. So, but this here, and then all of these, which is number 3, is blue rutile. Times 2. Okay, so PC20. And I guess it's, I guess it's just the reaction with the soft white and the little bit of fog that makes this happen. And man, that was just lucky. First time lucky. And I like it. Like I said, if you have another suggestion, I would love to hear it. So let's do this. It's just kind of like that. And then just here and here, here, there, and there. Not too fussy, right? Just kind of sloppy like. Okay, so then I'm going to come back. I'll let this dry and come back and do the second coat of that. Okay, second coat of blue rutile. There we go. Okay, so what I'm going to do last is 3 coats of snow on the pearl so that it, well, it actually shows quite white on 370 clay, but if you are using 340 clay, then it doesn't. So I like to just paint it white. And I'm not going to pause you and paint on that, but I'll be putting 3 coats on that, okay? Then what I'll be doing is firing this slow cool program, and let's see, my next one is going in today, and what am I putting it at? Yeah, I'm going to put it at slow cool to 2200, and that is on my website. How about I look at you? Here I am. So I'm going to be firing at slow cool to 2200. That firing schedule is on my website in the blog section, and I'll link it. And then after that, I'll do a mother of pearl luster on the pearl, and then it will be done. But I may wait till all of that is done. Did I do it on here? Oh yes, I did. Here it is. So that, I don't know if you can tell, but that pearl has mother of pearl luster on it. Okay, there you go. All right, so now here I have some of my oyster dishes. These ones were done on 340, and they turned out great. I was wondering if they were going to turn out differently because the last ones I did were on 370, which is a white stoneware. So they're not really that much different, are they? This one I had put speckled engobe on the back, and this one, well, I didn't feel I needed to because it's 340. But that turned out pretty good. So for those of you who don't know, I've been 3D printing the oyster dishes. I mean, oyster cutters and texture mat. These. And I've been selling them off my website, and they've been very popular. So they come in 3 sizes, 6-inch, 8-inch, and 10-inch. And I love that I can make a 10-inch. This is the 10-inch. And this is the 6-inch. So the 8-inch is in between. I just don't have one here. And somebody bought the other one. So again, this is this 370, and this is the 340. There's really not much of a difference. But the difference is those that last time I just, I didn't paint that white. This time I did paint that white, and probably will mother of pearl it. So cool, that worked out good. Okay, so let's, and I'll put some pictures up about what I did. But what I did was, let's see. Number 1, I did 2 times soft white from Spectrum. And then number 2, I did this whole area Amaco FOG. And I did that 3 times because it's a light glaze. And then number 3, I used blue RUTILE. And what I did was kind of swoop it like that and then do some lines in here. And that's what I did. Yeah, there you go. Okay, I just went and filled the kiln. There you go. And this is how it's going to turn out. And I'll leave all of the links to like the firing schedule, to the cutter, you know, all of that, brushes, blah, blah, blah. I'll leave the links to that. And if I have time or I want to wait, then I will wait for this to come out of the kiln and tack it all on the end of this. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for enjoying the cutters. Peace out.